Hey guys, it's Elissa. Welcome back to another video. So as I said in the last one, if you caught my last video about my spiritual guidance that I received while working with psilocybin plant medicine, I mentioned that I'm going to be doing it as of right now on a regular basis because to me, it's one of the most profound healing modalities that I've come across. And I have tried them all. Not to knock any of the other ones. They all definitely have their benefits. Yoga, meditation, journaling, grounding, the list goes on and on, right? But for me, plant medicine, again, has been the most profound as far as healing and just direct connection to high realms, divine beings and the guidance that I can receive, how easily that I can receive. So I'm doing another video about what I was taught the last time that I worked with plant medicine, which was about a week ago. And I should have done this video directly after because like a dream, a lot of it will kind of disappear. You will kind of forget a lot of it, unfortunately. So lesson learned. I need to do the video as soon as I'm, maybe not the same day because you're kind of a little tired and like, wow, but the next day I should have done it. Thankfully, I took notes. You're probably asking, how could I take notes if I'm incapacitated, while using this? It was not easy. And so my notes are very minimal. They're barely legible. I wish that they were more in depth. Anyways, I'm already rambling. Let's start. Okay, so it started off not so great, and I thought, uh-oh, is this going to be like a not pleasant one? But I knew better. It was just me resisting. I was feeling a little bit of anxiety because number one, I was having expectations. I was like, okay, this is going to go exactly how it went last time. You can't do that. Expectations, they're never good under any circumstance. So that was the first problem that I had, the first thing I did wrong. And my next video is going to be a list of tips for beginners and what you need to do in order to have a really good experience. So me having expectations, not good. And I was just resisting. I was fighting myself, fighting my mind. My mind was like when those nights when you're trying to go to sleep and your monkey mind it just won't shut up, and you're just like, oh my gosh. That's how it started off. And so I was like talking to myself almost in my mind, like I wish my mind would just be quiet. It's like sabotaging me. I want to connect directly to divineness, to God or to divine beings so that I can get guidance. But my mind is sabotaging me, and we've just started. We've only just started. And then I said, it's as if my mind, it's like something separate. It's not me. And then I was like, oh, that's right. It's not me. And like I already knew that, but in the moment I needed to be reminded. I needed to remind myself. And the second that I came to that realization that the mind, the ego self, is not me, everything calmed down. And then it became more beautiful. The sacred geometry started up again. And so as I started to relax into it and surrender, because I just remembered that I am not my mind, I am not the ego self, I started immediately asking my questions. And because I was still a little bit tense, because it started off a little bit tense, I kind of went into I think I was aiming too high. I don't want to say I was asking questions too big, but I was trying too much to direct it, to control it, which they've already told me before is a big fault of mine, if you will, trying to control things. It's not going to work. It's never going to work when it comes to anything. You have to surrender. And so I was asking these big questions, and again, like the last time, like I said in the last video, I wasn't necessarily getting an answer right away to everything. And they told me that they're not ignoring me, that they're giving me as much information as I can handle and as I need it. And like as I fully understand and digest something and assimilate it, then I will be given, the next step, higher levels of education, if you will. So they're not ignoring me. They know what they're doing. And it's unbelievable that I'm trying to control an experience with the divine. Unreal. Oh boy. So they also told me that everything is for a reason. Everything, even if I don't understand it. it was almost like, it's, too bad, so sad if you don't understand it yet. Keep going, keep working at it, because everything is for a reason, and it's my ego that fights it. We might be jumping around a little bit here and there just because, I'm kind of working off my notes, but it's all gonna tie in. Okay, so then they told me that nothing is outside of myself or you. Nothing is outside of ourself. So our life here, our experience here, is our own universe. It's the whole universe, because everybody, the family you were born into, the person you cross when the person you pass when you're crossing the street, the boss you end up with, where you live, it's all just reflections of you and where you are on your spiritual journey, where you are on your journey of dissolving your karma and ascending past your ego self and ascending past your mind, because that all has to be overcome in order for you to get to higher levels and eventually to the point of nirvana, enlightenment, whatever you want to call it, so that you don't have to come back down here to earth. Okay, so I'm getting ahead of myself. So nothing is outside of ourself. No person, no experience. It's all reflections. It's all mirrors of us. And I was having this moment, or like maybe a memory of me saying, this is just all too much. This is just too overwhelming. And I've had moments in the past where, and most of us, if we're being honest, have had a moment in our life where we're like, I'm sick of this ish. I don't want to be here anymore. But then the next day you're in your car and, someone almost sideswipes you, and it's like the most terrifying thing. And you do whatever you can to, make sure you survive it and protect yourself, because you do actually want to be here. And they told me loud and clear, when I was like, what's the point of this? Why are we here? They told me, you chose to be here. And as much as sometimes I want to say, yeah, right, I would never choose to be in this, this earth realm, which is so hard. There's so much suffering, right? But deep down inside, I do know that I chose to be here. Oh boy. So, and also that I came out of oneness. We talked about this in the last video, that we're all one. When I talk about reflections, and you're a reflection of me, I'm a mirror of you, because we're all one. We all become kind of separate, sort of, when we come down in here and are divided and put into these human forms, right? Because the human form is not us at all. But our true self, what we really are, our true essence, before we get put into these human bodies, is just oneness. And I saw what it looks like. There's no way I could ever explain it, but I'll try. It was like this, enormous is not even the word, right? It's so big that there's no words for it, like a microcosm, I think. And it was like moving, and it was alive, and the colors, a lot of reds. And it was like I was kind of floating under it or from it, and it looked kind of maybe like the roof of a cave, but like the biggest cave in the galaxy. And it was kind of reddish and alive. I don't know if that makes any sense. But I was shown that that's where I came from. That's consciousness. That's God. That's oneness. That's what we all are. And so I came out of it, was dropped into, my mother in a pregnancy. And here I am in the hardest school ever, which is Earth, to pass our tests. This is so big. So another thing that they told me is that I can make much better use of my time. This seems like duh. But when I was asking, I want more answers to this. I want a more lengthy answer to this. I'm very demanding. I'm very demanding. They told me, read. You want the specific answers, some of the specific answers you're looking for are in books, and you need to read. And I am reading a book right now, an amazing book. I'll probably do a review on it here on this channel. But I also have like a stack of like 20 other brand new books that I haven't gotten to yet. So I need to make better use of my time, and I need to read. And the other thing they told me is that we're accountable for all of our actions. Every little action. I mean, every time you've ever put a donut in your mouth, you're going to be held accountable for that action. And not like in a you're going to be punished way. Because wherever you are on your journey is okay. is what I was shown and told, because of the spirit world is just pure unconditional love. Even if there are some guidelines, rules is not the right word, but even if there is some guidelines, for lack of a better word, it's still, even no matter how much you mess up, it's still just pure unconditional love. So it doesn't mean that you won't be held accountable for all of your choices. We will, but not from a place of judgment. We're held accountable from a place of unconditional love, but at the same time, kept fairly on the wheel of karma. We don't escape suffering and samsara until we have fully awakened. How many lifetimes we have to come down here to the hardest school ever, Earth, is completely up to us. So there's a reason why it takes us so many lifetimes to awaken, to become awakened and not have to come back down here. Because it's extremely hard, as all of you know. Overcoming the ego mind, that's what we're here to do. Overcoming the mind and the ego self is what we're here to do. There is a reason that monks decide to not even bother with trying to enjoy, the pleasures of life, because they're so serious about not having to come back down here, or come back down here as least as possible, at least many times as possible. I'm not saying that correctly. That they're like, I'm not even messing around. I'm just going to live my life dedicated to, trying to reach enlightenment as fast as I can, so that I don't have to come back down here. There's a reason why monks choose to do that, because you will be, even though it's unconditional love, you will be held accountable for everything that you do. And that the way that you're held accountable, the way that you have to pay off your karma, is by coming back down here over and over again. You start off where you left off on your journey of karma in the next lifetime. And I would like to get to the point where I can stay up there, over there, whatever you want to call it, in a higher frequency realm, and never have to come back to this shithole again. They told me something so simple that it made me feel like a 3-year-old, and it was make better choices. I mean, that sounds so ridiculous, right? Because of how simple it is. But when you're there, when you're in the 5D, the 6D with the divine, seeing the divine, being the divine, pulled completely away from your ego, which you are when you are using plant medicine, it makes so much sense. Even when they just tell you a plain sentence like make better choices, I was just like, okay, yeah, you're totally right. You're totally right. This is a school. Earth is a school. And so, unfortunately, I can't remember everything that I was shown about social media. That's one of the reasons I should have done the video the next day, but that's okay. I did write a note that social media is basically, for the most part, completely the realm of ego, the realm of ego self. And so unfortunately that contributes to our downfall. I know you're going to say, oh, there's groups that I benefit from and I stay in contact with my family. Fine. But overall, it's still a realm of ego. And, overall, it's, not helping us. Okay. So I already mentioned that to really, really simplify things, the whole point of us coming here, which I don't like. I'm still not okay with it, and I still have more questions, right? But they're going to give it to me as they see fit. The whole point of us being here is to transcend our mind, our thinking mind, the monkey mind, and to transcend our ego self, get to a point of being awakened, which is where you know that we're all one, to have complete unconditional love, to have compassion, because people are where they are. It doesn't matter what you do. You can lead by example is the best thing that you could ever do for somebody, because you're not gonna, people are where they are in their journey of how many lifetimes they've lived, on their journey of their soul growth. And it is what it is. And that's acceptance. That's one of the things that Buddha teaches: acceptance, detachment, all of that good stuff. There's many amazing spiritual teachers, not just Buddha, but Buddha is one of them. Okay, so as I already said, there's a reason why you're born into a certain family. You choose your family, you choose your parents. Souls will reincarnate together over and over again, groups of souls, to teach one another and to help each other, surpass where you're at on the scale, to surpass and overcome your karma, if that makes any sense. I'll get into detail about that in another thing. But so anyways, your family, your friends, where you're born, all of that, reflections of you and where you're at, reflections of your shadow, also reflections of the light inside of you, the good inside of you, but also reflections of your shadows, right? The parts that you have to overcome still. And so at that point, I was like, well, so thinking back, it's hilarious that I'm trying to like tell them what to do or trying to control it. And I said, no, I don't accept this. Like, I want to be, make my life so that I'm around better people, like higher people, higher vibrational people, nicer people, more spiritual people, whatever. And basically they told me no. No. It's only when you rise in frequency, when you rise in vibration by doing what's right, following your heart, because you do know what's right. You may not know the whole way, you may not be able to see the whole path, but wherever you are at, you know which step in the right direction that you could take. Even if it's one little baby step, you do know the direction, because you're still connected to your higher self. Even when you're in this earth realm, you're always connected to your higher self. And it's a good thing to establish a relationship with your higher self as much as possible. And you can tap into that and receive help and receive knowledge. We're not just dropped here and, we're not just like dropped in the ocean and they say swim, kind of, but not fully. They send us a little help. So basically when I was asking or demanding for them to make my life so that I'm surrounded by better people, they basically said, no, you have to get there yourself through raising your vibration and raising your frequency through your own self-growth and through your own self-healing, which has a lot to do with relationships with the people that you were born around and all of that. And they also told me that the unhealed people in your life are a lot of times the best teachers anyways. So they basically showed me like, stay here, just stay here where you are until you've got it like down packed. Stay here until you've overcome the place you are in now with the people that happen to be in your life now, until you surpass the lessons, until you really can, look at everybody around you with acceptance and compassion and, unconditional love. And when you have, I don't want to say perfected, but when you've, really passed those tests with the unhealed people around you, which are definitely, they're going to, be projecting their shadows, and you're going to be projecting onto them, and we're all teaching each other. Then and only then will you rise to the next level in your spiritual journey while you're here on Earth. And this is just one reason that I really, really advocate for working with plant medicine, because I feel like this grows out of the ground for a reason. It's here to help us. It's here to connect us. Okay. Because again, there's a reason for everything. There's a reason why monks become monks, and there's a reason why these grow out of the ground. And yeah, but I really just want to put emphasis on that wherever you are right now, it's okay. It's okay, because the divine God, source, whatever you want to call it, loves you. It is love. That's what God is, in my opinion. Okay, this is my opinion. And you are God. You are of God. So you're from the same essence. And so wherever you are is okay. But if you're somebody, and this life is a gift. This life is a gift too. That's what I was told. So I don't want you to think like I'm saying like that you can't enjoy your time here and it's all about just working. Like it's a balance, right? I mean, maybe not so much for a monks. Monks have made the decision like that they're okay with not having the earthly pleasures, and they're just going to go straight to working on ascension. But for the lay people, for the most of us, it's like a balance, or it should be like a balance of you enjoying this gift that is life here on Earth. If we can get to the point of seeing it as a gift, which is very important for us to have that mindset, that perspective. It's a gift, but also we should be working, because this is a school, right? So we have to do our homework. We have to pay attention in class, and we should be working on graduating. Otherwise, you're going to just have to keep coming back and relearning the same harsh lessons over and over and over and over again. And I don't want to do that because I think it's probably way, 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 way better over there when you're out of body. Like, I can almost guarantee it. I'm a medium, and just what I've been told. In my last reading, the person in spirit told me that they have the best of both worlds now. They were a spiritual person while they were here on Earth. And so now they're basically telling me like they have the perspective, a much, much broader perspective now that they're in spirit. And then so that they can be here and be there at the same time. And so having a good life, a beautiful life, is a byproduct of living in alignment with what you know is right, with going in the direction of what your soul knows is better, a little bit better for you, a little bit better, more in the direction of, you know, getting to the right place. You know, like deep down, you do know. So if you're in a place like, I don't know, and I'm lost and just, you know, F everything, you got to let the waters settle, because you do know, because you're always connected to your higher self. And so you need to follow your heart. And that's what you're being called to do, is to follow your heart and be in touch with that to the best of your ability. You do the best that you can, right? And focus on love, and focus on knowledge, and focus on light, because energy goes where attention flows. So what you put your attention on, what you focus on, what you pay attention to, that's what's going to grow in your life. And so it's so much. It's so much. It's way too much for one video. I'm doing too much. I need to break this down, because these are the kinds of things that require, you know, neuroplasticity for us to hear and to learn and to say and to hear over and over and over again, you know, before we really get it, before our brain changes and we really like, ding, light bulb. Oh, I get it now. For me too, right? I have to hear these things and study these things and read these things and practice these things a million times, learn the hard way, mess up, and mess up again and mess up again and mess up again before I finally get it. I've always been told my whole life that I'm hard-headed, that I got a thick skull. Did anybody ever tell you that in your family? So I'm gonna stop there. We'll talk about it again and again in different ways. But I hope that you got something out of this. Again, I really recommend working with plant medicine. I really recommend meditation, really recommend journaling, and just everything self-care, everything self-love. Get enough sleep, go to sleep earlier, clean up your diet, eat fruit. Fruit is the highest vibrational food, what we are designed to eat, in my opinion. So just take care of yourself, remove the stress from your life, and go easy on yourself, because if you take anything from this video, let it be that it's okay wherever you're at. Wherever you're at on your journey, it's okay. And it's nothing but unconditional love from them, the divine, to you, for you. But you will be held accountable. And what I mean by that is having to come back down here and do it all over again. Which is fine. However long it takes you, you know, it's fine. There's no judgment over there. But you will pay for it. I hate saying it that way. You will have to deal with your karma, with, you know, harsh experiences down here on Earth, again and again in different lifetimes, until you do the work, until you decide to love yourself. And when you love yourself is when you are genuinely able to love other people, and that's what we're here to learn. I don't like it. I feel like I always ask the divine, why can't we just be perfect to begin with? Is that a stupid question? Why does it have to be this way? Why is it set up this way? Why is it so hard? Why can't we just have been created perfectly to start with? You know, I have not received the answer to that again, because they told me they'll tell me things as they see fit. And so there you have it. Thanks for joining me, guys. I am a developing medium. So if you would like to book a reading with me, you can go to my Facebook mediumship page, which is Elissa Ace-Spiritual Medium. It will be linked in the comments below. My personal page, Elissa Ace, on Facebook and on Instagram. And please subscribe. Please leave me a comment and tell me what you thought about this. What's your opinion? And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks. Bye.